Now at 10, Miami, Oklahoma welcomes a new manufacturing plant with a ribbon cutting. Plus, a Joplin family packs their bags for a trip to the Super Bowl. And Kansas and Missouri team up to make an ill teenager's wish come true.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
A new manufacturing facility and jobs are coming to Miami, Oklahoma. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. The announcement came in a ribbon cutting ceremony this afternoon. Valencia Pipe Company is the latest addition to Miami, Oklahoma. The California-based company will now be able to access a whole new part of the country. The facility will create large septic and water tanks. The Miami city manager says the city couldn't be more pleased with the addition.
Today's event is just a huge deal for us to have these guys pick us out of all the locations they could have chose. They chose Miami, Oklahoma. And so we've really knew that being a small pond, we had to take on this big fish and say, how do we be what they need us to be? And that is to be there for them to make this easy.
The facility will be able to employ up to 25 people within its first year, but they say they hope to further expand and grow. New details released concerning yesterday's Joplin school bus fire with children on board. The driver and all the children made it off safely. While the cause of the fire is still under investigation, we did learn more about its inspection history. This is video from the scene yesterday on South Range Line just off I-44. Investigators say the fire started in the engine compartment around 3 p.m. We spoke with the Joplin School's Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Matt Harding. He says the bus driver recognized the seriousness of the situation, radioed in the information, and got the children quickly off the bus. Harding says this bus model is one of the older ones the district owns.
This is an older bus that this happened to, and so right now they're in the process of kind of looking to see what happened with this one. But they immediately went and checked all the other buses that have a similar engine style to see if either they can find out what the issue is and contact the manufacturer and find out if they have any ideas what the issue may have been.
Harding says every bus is inspected twice a year. This one was last checked in December. He also says Joplin has a 20-year record of scoring 90% or higher on the Missouri Highway Patrol testing. Those inspections include the entire fleet every spring. Another unseasonably warm day out there. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, it felt absolutely spectacular during the afternoon. 64 is where we topped out after a cold, kind of foggy start. 28 during the morning hours. Average highs 48 degrees. So we were, again, 15 to 20 degrees above where we should be. All right, we're not going to drop off too much more tonight. Most of us are sitting into the mid 40s across the board. I think we'll back down into lower 40s later on tonight. But clouds across the region will actually keep our temperatures up just a little bit. We're starting to track our next storm system out to the west, the western third of the country, which will start to affect us later on this week. For tonight, pretty quiet. We back down to about 43 degrees. It's going to stay mild, and the winds are going to pick up the next few days, highs into the 60s, but we could get gusts near 40 miles per hour. So we're going to break all that down for you here in just a bit.
See you soon. Donald and Beverly Malone here were married in 1954. The high school sweethearts family grew to include 3 sons, multiple grandkids, and a cozy home in Fort Scott, Kansas. The Malones attribute their 70 years together to just being there for each other. They say working on a marriage is vital for longevity, but staying active together is just as important.
Usually like the same things all the time. But anybody that tells you that their marriage is just fun and games all the time, that's not right. You have to work at it.
She's been the backbone, you might say, because she has helped me through things. And
I think it's a mutual thing.
It is.
Although their anniversary is in January, Donald and Beverly Malone plan on celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary in April when the weather is a bit nicer. Happy anniversary. Joplin family is ready to set off for the Super Bowl. Ryan Springer, his dad and son are packing for the trip to Vegas, where they're going to watch the Chiefs take on the 49ers in person this weekend. KOAM's Fernandez Silva looks at how they're preparing for the trip.
It was like the fourth quarter and we were ahead and there was like a minute to go and I'm just sitting there on the couch and I can hear my grandpa go, "Well, what are the tickets looking like?"
Just after the end of the AFC Championship game, Samuel Springer saw his dad, Ryan, and his granddad, Ron, setting everything up for a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
It was kind of quick, actually. We had the thing booked in about 2.5 hours.
I was in shock for a little bit after me seeing how much the tickets were going. I was in shock. We went for it.
With each ticket being bought for about $9,000, Sam was not the only one who was shocked. Downstairs is your wife. How does she feel about you spending all the money with the Chiefs?
Yeah, well, she looks at like, what am I getting? so it's kind of a double expense for me because I usually, find something that she likes or something she wants to go do.
Ryan says the money to go to the Super Bowl comes from years of savings.
It's costing my dad an arm and a leg, and it's costing me an arm. Kind of money that we've had saved that we're going to invest in the Super Bowl.
A week after celebrating his 15th birthday, Sam knows the memories created on his second Super Bowl will be cherished for a long time.
Like, at the age I am, it's hard to, put, different life experience compared to this. But I feel like in the future, this is definitely coming up.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Chiefs fans had to wait 50 years between their first two Super Bowl wins, but young Samuel Springer, well, he's lucky. He's going to see the team play in their fourth Super Bowl in 5 years, and for the second time in person. Wow. Joplin Church today hosted a fundraiser to support local refugees and immigrants. First Presbyterian Church of Joplin hosted a luncheon for $8 a plate. All the proceeds from that event go to an organization that helps with that. The group helps provide refugees and immigrants with resources and education to help them transition into a new home.
And it's not as burdensome on our sponsoring families, and then we can do more, and it's not a barrier. Finances are not then a barrier for people to want to come alongside.
First Presbyterian Church hosts charity luncheons every month. The Springfield teens' wish will come true thanks to the Make-A-Wish program. Preston Hardiman, who recently underwent an unexpected heart transplant, was surprised after school today to see staff and volunteers setting up his one true wish, a Titan Fitness home gym. Now that his wish has been made and granted, he has some dreams he'd like to see come true.
Finish high school, go to college. I want to have good, long-lasting relationships at college. That's what I'm looking for. And I don't know, live a life I'm proud of.
Make-A-Wish Missouri and Kansas teamed up to make Preston's wish come true. Later in sports, high school basketball gets ready to wrap up. John's going to have highlights from two big Tuesday night games in just a few minutes. But first, the latest on negotiations over a bill concerning border security and aid to Ukraine.
Only at Casey's.
After months of negotiations between the White House, Senate Democrats, and Senate Republicans, lawmakers drafted a bill that would provide emergency funding for Ukraine and Israel and strengthen the border. But now, even the Republicans who helped negotiate the deal say they're going to vote against advancing it in the Senate because of opposition in the House. Natalie Brandt has the latest.
President Biden, pleading for Congress to pass the bipartisan border security compromise, is blaming former President Donald Trump for trying to kill it.
Every day between now and November, the American people are going to know that the only reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump and his MAGA Republican friends.
The proposal, which would give the White House new powers to crack down on border crossings, has drawn criticism from both progressives and conservatives in the Senate.
It looks to me and to most of our members as if we have no real chance here to make a law.
I'm angry at our own Republican leadership for going along with it in a terrible bill.
Speaker Mike Johnson has called it dead on arrival in the House.
The bill does not secure the border, and it does not prevent illegals from coming into our country.
Despite the pushback, the Senate is expected to hold a test vote this week on the deal. Meanwhile, House Republicans Tuesday night failed to impeach the president's DHS secretary.
The yeas are 214 and the nays are 216. The resolution is not adopted.
4 Republicans joined Democrats in rejecting the impeachment charges against Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
Secretary Mayorkas is guilty of maladministration of our immigration laws on a cosmic scale. But we know that's not grounds for impeachment because the American founders specifically rejected it.
House Republicans have signaled they may try to bring up the impeachment measure again. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Congressman Blake Moore from Utah switched his vote from yes to no on that case. The CDC has released the latest ads from its Tips from Former Smokers campaign. Many of this year's ads highlight the harms of menthol cigarettes. The health agency estimates this ongoing campaign has helped more than 1 million U.S. adults quit smoking. A little bit later, the Lady Lions get some well-deserved recognition. John's going to add details on a recent coaches poll and where MSSU ranks.
Plus, we're going to stay mild, but the winds are really going to get going over the next few days. We're going to check that out coming up next.
Humane Society's chili.
Well, it turned out to be a great Tuesday for us today. Temperatures fantastic across the region. Most of us went into the mid-60s for highs. In fact, if you look at February so far, remember January, majority of the month was below average, but almost the first week of February has been above average. A couple 70s, couple record highs today, back into the 60s once again. It looks good right now. Here's a nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Look at our temps across the board. Most of us mid to upper 40s. We're not going to drop off too much more tonight. What's going to help us out? We have a little bit of a light south wind and we have some clouds out there, and that's going to keep those temperatures a little bit up. In fact, pretty thick mid and upper level clouds. Now, nothing underneath them. So we aren't going to see any rain or anything like that throughout the overnight hours, just mostly cloudy skies and then mostly cloudy skies once again as we head into tomorrow. Big upper level low right off the coast of Southern California. There's a chunk of energy ahead of it that will start to affect us over the next 2 days, and then that main system will start to affect us as we go into the weekend. So let's look at it. Here's our upper level flow. Here's our upper level low. By Thursday, shoots across the northern plains. So it takes most of the moisture with it. We could get a random shower or two, but with system 1, the main effect is going to be our winds really start to increase. All right, system 1 exits. Here comes system 2. Meanders its way in as we head into the weekend. Saturday looks okay, but let's go into Super Bowl Sunday. It passes, looks like a southern track, so we would be on the northern edge, but that will give us chances for rain if some cold air can sneak in, maybe a little bit of snow with it. All right, first system, look at the winds. They start to increase tomorrow. Gusts near 20, possibly 25 by evening. As we go into tomorrow night and Thursday, look at this. Winds gusting 40 upwards to 45 miles per hour as we go through the daytime hours on Thursday. So here's your wind forecast. Your trash can is most likely going to be in your neighbor's yard. If you don't secure it, I need to put mine in my garage tomorrow. I plan on doing it as the winds start to pick up. All right, let's go into system number 2. Saturday looks okay, but a lot of people are going to be traveling regionally on Sunday to go to Super Bowl parties. It looks like we're going to get some rain in here, and it could mix with a little bit of snow. Still 5 days away, but something we'll keep our eyes on as we go through the next few days. All right, let's go into our future track. For us tonight, we are going to be seeing those clouds, lower 40s for overnight lows. Working into the noon hour tomorrow, near 60. I think most of us 65, 66 for an afternoon high. Let's go into tomorrow night. We're going to stop it about 4:30 in the morning, Thursday morning. A random isolated shower. Most of you dry, and then upper 60s. once we get into Thursday afternoon. 65 tomorrow, 67 on Thursday, 64 on Friday. Cooling down a bit as we head into the weekend, and then we'll watch for those chances for showers on Super Bowl Sunday.
When we're all going to be inside watching TV anyway.
Exactly.
Thanks, Doug. Freeman Health today revealed the theme for the 2024 5K and Walk for Autism. It involves dinosaurs, as you see. For the 5th straight year, these combined events raise funds to support program development and scholarship assistance for the Bill and Virginia Leffen Center for Autism. Officials say the money generated goes directly to benefit the kids.
It's very important. We have some amazing staff here, and we have amazing services at Leffen Center, and those services do cost money, and so this event helps to provide those monies that we're able to give the kids the services they need at Leffen Center.
The first place winner will be able to choose next year's theme, but this year's theme, Walk, Run, and Roar, featuring, as you saw, dinosaurs. Still ahead, Pitt State finds a leader for its new men's golf program. And highlights from tonight's basketball doubleheader between Colgan and Riverton. John Dales has those stories and a lot more coming up next.
It should be a time to enjoy.
We're coming down the stretch of the high school basketball season in Kansas. Tonight, Colgan hosts Riverton in a couple important CNC games. The Panthers boys are trying to stay the number 3 team in Class 2A, and the girls are hoping to remain undefeated. Riverton girls basketball on the road trying to hand Colgan its first loss of the year. Early in the first, off the inbounds, Molly Swayze looks like she's passing to no one, but Lily Brown swoops in, converts the layup. Riverton hanging tough though. Chloe Parker left open from 3. She drains it. Rams still down 3. Still first half. Alona Kalen finds Mariah Harris underneath the basket for the easy 2. Final seconds of the first half now. 3-pointer won't go, but guess who? Lily Brown gets the rebound and scores at the buzzer. Colgan up 17 into the locker rooms. More of the same in the third quarter. Jakayla Davis gets the steal, goes coast to coast for the layup. Then Davis again, little spin move, clears the path to the basket. Colgan remains undefeated, taking down Riverton 52-26. Now to the boys' game. Colgan beat Riverton on the road in December. The Rams trying to get revenge. They've won 8 in a row. Panthers big man Tristan Voss taking control in the first quarter off the missed 3-pointer. Ball tapped right to him for the easy 2. Couple possessions later, Tucker Harrell dumps it inside to him. Voss uses the post move, scores again. How about a third time? Doesn't matter who Riverton puts on him. Voss scores again. Riverton came to play though. Second quarter, down by 3. Cale Forbes connects on a triple. That ties the game up. Rams trail by 2 at halftime. In the third quarter, Locke North gets the bucket and the foul. Riverton up by 3, but Colgan, he can knock them down. They get right back up. The freshman Brady Bettiga confidently shooting the 3 and drilling it. The Panthers beat the Rams again, this time in overtime, 53-44. And Missouri Southern women's basketball finally is ranked inside the top 25. In the coaches poll released this afternoon, the Lions are the number 24 team in the country. This comes as Southern is in the midst of a 14-game winning streak. The Lions' last loss came on December 2nd. Now, Missouri Southern is the only team from the MIAA to be ranked in the top 25 this week. Fort Hays State was number 15 the week before, but fell out of the top 25 this week. Here are the current conference standings. No games across the league tonight. The Lions have a 1-game lead on the rest of the MIAA. Missouri Western, closest one behind them, coincidentally, that's the last team to beat Missouri Southern. And Pittsburgh State announces last week that its men's golf program will return in the 2024-25 academic year. This afternoon, PSU Athletic Director Jim Johnson says they've found their head coach. That's Nick Long. Now, Long played for the Gorillas golf team from 2000 to 2003, serving as a team captain the final 2 years. In a press release, the new head coach saying he wants this program to live up to the standard of success that Pitt State is accustomed to, saying, quote, "We will compete at the highest levels while being good students and role models for younger generations, and will be involved in our community." One final sports note, Seneca boys basketball finishes off an undefeated conference slate. They are the conference champions for the first time in 11 years.
Congratulations. We'll be right back.
Kansas City Chiefs cover.
Spirit Week in our area continues as we near kickoff to Super Bowl 58. Today, students at the Intermediate School building in Carl Junction celebrated Travis and Taylor Day. Kids dressed as either Travis Kelce or Taylor Swift and made their excitement very known, very vocal, and some heart signs. Even one Chiefs fan explained his reasons for dressing like number 87.
Because Travis Kelce is like the hype player of the team. He's always the one, like, if anybody messes up, he's always the one saying, okay, let's keep going, it's fine, we're still in this, like what they did last game against the Ravens.
Although sometimes I think Travis Kelce uses slightly different vocabulary when he expresses that thought. You can watch the defending champs take on the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 58 this Sunday right here on KOAM or, wherever you choose to, I suppose. You can go to Vegas if you like. A lot of us will be watching it on TV, I think.
I am. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Eat my wings and Little Smokies and meatballs.
And wear number 58 for Derek Thomas in the Super Bowl.
There you go.
The weather.
All right, we look pretty good for us tonight. Tomorrow looks nice, 65, 67 on Thursday, winds increasing.
Final sports note.
Another signing day tomorrow. A lot of high school athletes in our area getting ready to go to the next level. We'll be out at several schools bringing them to you.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us. Morning Show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.